Hello there, and welcome back to our recap series of the Bad Batch Season 2. Today we are going through Episode 2, Ruins of War. Let's get stuck in. If you remember at the end of Episode 1, the cargo container that has Echo, Tech, and Omega inside is still spiraling out of control in the air. If you missed Episode 1, I will put the link in the video description as well as all the other episodes. But Omega was correct, that Class 4 freighters have cargo containers with re-entry thrusters and they ignite. The team begin to take some sort of control in the air, but they message Hunter and Wrecker, still on Castle Sereno, that they are crashing, and that will be on the forest sector, the other side of the planet. Hunter is not best pleased that they are crashing, but informs them that he will get to the ship and come for them and for them to lay low. Once he's done this, he then looks at Wrecker and tells him, unfortunately, we all know that Wrecker has a fear of heights, that the only way off Castle Sereno is down, and he throws his grappling hook down, and down they go, to try and get to the Marauder on the other side of the city. We then go back to the team that's on the cargo ship, and they start to crash land, or what they think is a landing anyway. As they begin to make a move off the cargo ship, the ship starts to rock and sway and eventually comes to a halt, but unfortunately during the movement of the cargo container, Box landed on Tech's leg and damaged his femur, and he is struggling. Echo takes the lead and looks outside to notice that they have not yet landed, and that the container is lodged between rocks and a massive tree. This tree is huge. This thing is huge, and honestly, it must have been there for thousands of years. Wrecker and Hunter are then on the way to their ship, and they realize that the clone army is on the move and that is looking for them, and that they know that they're alone and split up from the rest of the team. We then go back to Omega, Tech, and Echo making it off the cargo ship, but Omega notices that they are being followed and pulls the arrow on a man. He's called Romar, an inhabitant of the planet. He tries to lie and say there's no shelter, but Tech outsmarts him, and then they head to Romar's house in the forest. Hunter and Wrecker are on a hillside overlooking the clone army, and they notice some old separatist tanks. This was awesome to see, such a throwback to the Clone Wars series. We then go to Omega, who asks Romar in the house why he has a house in the middle of nowhere, and he responds by saying that he had no choice. Since the Empire came to the planet, he and the other survivors have had to learn to live on their own and to survive on their own. Obsessed with completing her mission, Omega then says that they should go back for the war chest and that it's not too late. Echo then says negative and tells her that it's too dangerous and that there will be clones on their way to collect the cargo. He informs her to keep an eye on Romar. Doing so, she then is given a gift by Romar. He says it's a toy, but I think there's more to this golden object. I wonder if the jewels inside are real. Is it a toy? Is it not a toy? What do you think, guys? Let me know in the comments. Back to Hunter and Wrecker. They try to fire up the tanks that they saw, but it's no good. They have no power, but Wrecker has an idea. And in true Wrecker style, he takes a battery pack off the tank and creates his new favourite toy. A cannon with unlimited armour. A cheat code, so to speak. I love this weapon. It's perfect for Wrecker. Echo then gets angry at Tech and says that they need to do more in the galaxy and that people need their help. I find this so cool, this little arcing story of Echo realizing that everybody's in trouble and that the Empire are such a force right now and they're not even at the full strength. But Echo realizes this. I love this storyline with Echo. It's brilliant. After Echo leaves, Romar pulls out a Serenian archive full of different memories, music, all the culture holds in this box. I think there's more to this. I don't know. What do you guys think? Because he's desperate to get this thing working, and obviously Tech is the guy that can do it, and he does do it later in the episode, but I just think there's something to this device. Maybe it's a code about the Empire to someone. I don't know. It's very clever though that they keep throwing these little arcing stories just every so often, just bam, something new. Like this little box could contain everything about the Empire and what they know about them so far, and all about Dooku as well. Like, it's a crazy thing to think about, but it is something that is just at the back of my mind when I'm seeing this scene. Echo returns asking where's Omega, and guess what? Good soldiers follow orders, and she has made her way back to the cargo ship. She's trying to get the war chest. He goes after her, and Echo is about to go down into the ship and call Omega back, but notices the Empire have already arrived and it's too late, and jumps into the container. Omega has no idea this is going on. As they're in the container in trouble, Tech comes to the rescue and confronts the Empire forces alone, blasting them one by one. He's then surrounded, and don't forget, he is not in a good condition. He's got a bad leg, but he's surrounded and ends up in hand-to-hand combat with the clone. Oh my god, he is such a badass. He takes out the clone, and he's done enough to get Echo and Omega some time to get off the container. They're trying to get off the container, but as they do, it starts rocking around, and on the mountain cliff, Omega drops her stash of war chest. Echo then manages to make her see sense, and that they need to let it go, and that it's too late. They make it off the container just in time as it finally loosens from that massive tree and slides down the mountain. Wrecker and Hunter manage to blast their way to the Marauder, and they're on the way to pick up the others, but Wrecker takes out a few Empire ships, chasing them just for good measure on the way out. We then go back to Tech, and Roma helps him up, but as he does that, air support arrives for the Empire, and Tech shoots down a ship. Omega and Echo are still on the rock face as the ship explodes. Roma gets a speeder and a cable and pulls them back from danger. The boys arrive in style, blasting their way in the air. Before Omega gets on the ship though, Roma throws her the golden toy and says, "Remember what I said, kid?" And that is very interesting to me. We then get a scene with Cody and Rampart, who tells Cody that there was a problem with his report he submitted, saying that Clone Force 99, that this was a mistake because they all died on Kamino. Cody tells him that his intel was incorrect and that they are alive. Rampart, being scared of his consequences of his failure in Season 1, tells Cody to make a new report, with no mention of Clone Force 99. Cody refuses, and Rampart shoots him off this massive landing platform. And there we go, guys, the end of Episode 2. An awesome episode with loads of action that just shows how much of a badass Tech is. Oh, I'm so excited for Episode 3. That will be coming up very soon on the channel, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. Keep geeking out, and we will see you in the next one.